Hello! Welcome to Adventures in TV Land! For today's adventure, I've come to Atlanta, Illinois. I've come here specifically to see the Atlanta Museum, which is a small local museum. And while I'm here, I'm just gonna feature just a few other sites that are here. And so let's go and check it out. And so there it is, the Atlanta Museum. Now, the museum at one time was a bank. So here is one of the vaults, smaller vaults there. And they have some memorabilia of the Atlanta National Bank right there. And here's a certificate signifying that this building, the Downey Building, is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Here, this is the actual main vault. You're actually able to look and see there. And these doors, you see the walls there? Those are the original walls. And these doors right here, these are the original doors of that original vault. Here are some items from the Palace Theater. It was a movie theater here in downtown Atlanta. And that popcorn machine, they did tell me that has been completely restored. And they actually bring it out and use it for special occasions here that the museum sponsors. Just going to give an overview of this section. This part of the museum is on the second floor. Now, this display case here has a bunch of items. It's got a timeline about the Atlanta Fair. Atlanta Fair was a basic, kind of like an agricultural fair. Very, I guess, my understanding, very similar to a county fair. It was held here in Atlanta every year for nearly 70 years. And it eventually, just over time, they were no longer able to raise the money that they needed to keep the fair going. And so it was dissolved. Some items from the Atlanta Police Department, old items, a hat, a gun belt, a sign there, and a billy club. You can take a photo op there. And here, this display of Lincoln. Lincoln's in 1858. He stopped in Atlanta. It was sometime before he went to Freeport to debate Stephen Douglas. And he was, I guess, he practiced his speech, his debate with Douglas here in a quiet back room on the second floor of a building which no longer stands here in Atlanta, Illinois. Now, these items here are from the various schools that have been here in Atlanta. They still have their school, but it's just a different school building. These are all from the old school building. Now here are some items from the Palms Grill Cafe. Saucer cups and saucers. Looks like a kind of a sort of a blender there. Some other glasses and some various other smaller items. Now there's something you don't see every day. An old water fountain. Here's a Route 66 historical marker about Atlanta, about the booms and busts that occurred due to Route 66. It's a huge boom when the road first came through, and then when they changed the route of the road, the bypass downtown, there was some of those businesses went out of business, others moved and new ones popped up. And then it happened again when the I-55 was built and the Mother Road was closed basically in 1977. But nostalgia and the call of the open road has brought things back. Now I learned in the museum that there used to be a huge fair. There was an Atlanta Fair every year here in Atlanta, Illinois. It was a big agricultural event. It went on for 68 years. And finally, the last year, I believe it was held, was in 1928. The first year it was held was in 1860. So for 68 years, it was an annual big event, and they were not able to get the financial support
Atlanta,
from the community.
Midway, and Illinois.
And so the fair closed. The grounds were sold.
The actual midway point, I believe, though, is
This ticket office, however,
Grove, which is just a few miles down the road,
is the only building
midway
left
between for Illinois,
of the original
that is.
fairgrounds.
Okay, that makes sense. From between Chicago and St. Louis, I guess Atlanta would be then, because you got the Chain of Rocks Bridge in between. Now along the brick wall of the little park where the ticket booth is at, kickoff summer cruise in Atlanta 5/29/22. Historical marker. June 4th, 2022. They've got these little shields. On Route 66. There are not many buildings built like that. Now here's the Atlanta Public Library. This library is quite unique because it is in the shape of an octagon. It has 8 sides. And here's another view of the library historical marker from a different angle.
This is actually the rear of the building.
And
here's
one last view
of the library from
this other side. This is the famous Palms Grill Cafe. It was a Greyhound bus stop, as well as the little restaurant. It closed for a few years, reopened, closed again. It's now reopened, I believe, as like basically a candy shop. It's closed though today of this visit. Let's see. Of course, the big attraction here when you visit Atlanta is the Paul Bunyan Muffler Man. Here it talks about the Paul Bunyan statue, the Muffler Man. Can you find the Adventures in TV Land sticker on the board? Got this mural here, and up top there. It's hard to see with the sun. See if we can get outside. There we go. It's a mural of the Palms Grill Cafe. Just looking for a Lincoln display here. Talks about some marches that were held in town in support of Lincoln, his run for the presidency. The Atlanta Wide Awakes group. Well, this has been another adventure in TV Land, where we visited the Atlanta Museum and a few other sites here in Atlanta, Illinois, on Route 66. If you've liked this video, hit the like button. If you disliked, hit the dislike button. Subscribe to my channel for further content and ring that bell for email notifications. And if there's someplace that you would like to see me visit, or you have a suggestion about some future video you would like to see me do, leave a comment in the comment section. And if you've enjoyed this adventure, or any of the adventures in TV Land, you can help support this channel by going to either Buy Me a Coffee or Patreon, and making a donation or becoming a member at either one of those two places. You can also hit the super like button down below, the little heart with a $sign in it. Thank you for watching. Until next time, that's a wrap.